Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Minecraft Survival. A few things I've done off screen, not off stream, off screen is I put in this little basic pathway just for the time being, as I'd rather just do this, the quick and simple and easy little pathway going all the way around as we add more buildings, and then eventually, once we have a bit more of a layout, I can then start putting in a more permanent looking road, because as I said, we want to have some more buildings on this side. So I first want to figure out how that's going to look and do easy pathways that I can easily just remove instead of doing the effort of building in permanent ones just to tear almost half of it out, because I didn't know yet where I wanted to have it go or the thickness figured out yet. So this is just a little basic simple road. I also went ahead and got ourselves some sheep and some cows starting up. I need to actually still look for some sugar cane. We still need some sugar cane stuff, as we still need to get ourselves some bookshelves. As you can see, we have an enchantment table already set up, and we have some diamonds, which we of course found live on our stream that we did for Hearthstone on this world in between the first and second episode. Today's plan is I actually want to maybe start on the front of the mine, because I think the mine is going to be a much bigger project than I anticipated. As I said, I'm not exactly sure yet what I want to do for the inside, but I definitely know what I want to do for the outside. So I can start with the outside at least. Well, I have a general idea of what I want to do there. So we'll almost probably start off that this episode. But of course, the main objective of today's episode, as you know, is, as I said in the previous one, is getting an upgrade. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. I want some new things. I want some new shiny things. So yes, I think that is going to be the best way to start. In order to start that, we are going to need to think about where we want to put these villagers up for the time being. To be honest, I am thinking maybe just stick them in the hole somewhere for the time being, and breathe and get some more villages and stuff and start setting them out there. Just a rudimentary underground system maybe. And then once we have more buildings and some safety lights and stuff starts being around and stuff, we'll then start switching it out. Yes, because I definitely need to also look into finding a bit of moss, because I want to put some moss throughout the floor, so it's not just grass. And we also need to start looking into adding some trees and boulders. But those I most probably do like an episode dedicated to that, because I first need to design them, because I have no idea how to build trees and what type of trees we need for this area. Because I'm gonna do some custom cherry blossoms, but I also want to do some other woods and stuff, so it's not just pink everywhere. We also want some greenage. But yes, I think without any more delay and stuff, instead of starting off with that, let's start off with moving some villagers over so we can get them to start breeding up and start a small little trading hall so we can start getting some of the good stuff. So let's go. And with that frustrating little adventure, then we now have villagers. I went ahead and put them in a dirt box, for safety reasons. Yes, there they are, both of them. Can't believe that I got the one in the house. I brought him over, and then when I went back, the second was the exact same spot. I didn't know what was that spot, but yeah, that definitely just happened. Very strange. Very strange that happened. But yes, now we have two villagers, and of course now we need to get started on, getting our villager breed up. Because of course we need to start breeding them, and then once they're bred, we can start populating them into buildings. Oh yeah, did I mention that? We're going to be building a building for for every single villager type, and that's where actually we're going to be storing them. So it's not going to be like one central trading hall, it's going to be multiple. Of course, we're going to store them for now in a underground area, and then as we build and add the buildings, we will bring them up and add them to the respected building, which means we are going to need to build a lot of blacksmiths. We need to build a library. We need to build a stonemason area, a woodworking area, shepherd's area, all that kind of stuff. And yes, of course, we're also going to need to figure out where to put a barn. Because as we know, we need a barn for our animals over here, which is going to be super important. Because I don't want them to just be chilling around here. I actually want them to have their own dedicated space. Grab wheat real quick, because I just want to continue breeding them up, especially because we're going to need a ton of wool for things. And with that, we have a few more now growing up in our little thing. But yes, I think to start off, I thought about it, and I did say I was just going to put it randomly somewhere in the floor, but we have this very perfect little tool shed. So why not use this little tool shed to set up our villager breeder? So what we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves a shovel, and we're just going to dig down. There we go. And yeah, now we're in a perfect little cubby area where we can start farming and building up villagers. I think we're going to need to build up the sides, as I don't want to keep it stone. I actually want to make this nice, so when we come down here, we actually feel like, yeah, we did something nice and decent. It's not just a hole in the floor. So yes. So over here is going to be our water that's going to bring them over to this side, because this is the area where we are most probably going to hang out the most. And then we'll have a small bit of farmland here, not massive, because like we're not gonna be harvesting what they are having, and just some beds over here. You know, a super simple, super easy little villager trading hall. We might need to push this wall back a bit, one more, because I'm not sure if we need to make. Yeah, we're gonna need to push this wall back one more. That's fine. That's fine. I can do that in between, you know, cuts and everything and stuff. But yes, so we'll push that wall back by one more, and we'll build up this area, and then we'll move in our villagers. I think with that, without further ado, let's get into our first time lapse. And with that, we now have our little villager breeder area set up. We already got 2 of them in there. I gave them some seeds and planted the wheat and stuff, closed up the hole. And now they are going to be throwing, hopefully, bread very soon at each other. And then we'll start getting someone. Not happy yet with this area. I need to rework this area. But of course, it's because none of this was planned. I just decided to dig a hole and build and see what happens. This is what happens. This is why you have to plan things. Even if only a little bit of planning goes a long way. But yes, it's super easy. Once we have villagers in there, they should go in as children there. Once they grow up, they'll be brought across. And then when we click the button, it'll bring out our minecart. So then we can do whatever we want with them. And we can obviously just plop them in back there. And then once we have gone to the nether, this will be a water elevator where we can just ride them in here. And all the way up to put them around where we need them. Yeah, so they'll pop up here, and then we can distribute them to wherever we want to be. But yes, so now we have our villagers starting to set up and starting to breed down there, hopefully, which is super good for us. But yes, as we know, we need to build another building for this episode. So I'm starting to get a better idea of what I want to do, because what I'm thinking is we need a bridge, and I'm actually thinking the bridge will connect directly to here, because as I've already stated, we are going to be building an entire pathway going over the mountain over here in these 2, inside these 2 hills over into the other area over there. Once we get to that point, once this entire section's been filled. But until then, we need to, you know, pull up this area. So I'm thinking we need a place for our animals. And I am now just thinking, animals would be better over there, but it is quite far away. So maybe we don't do our animals yet, and we just do another building. We'll add another building onto our line over here and maybe build one over across over here. I think without further ado, let's get into another time lapse of us building our mandatory building for each episode. So let's go. And with that, we have another building completed. Although I did notice something shortly after building. Just gonna walk in F5 mode. I'm just gonna look behind me, and I'm gonna leave you guys to try and figure out. I already noticed it, what the problem is and what I need to do to fix it. But yes, I'll do that in between episodes. But yes, I think my roof's a bit wonk. I think it definitely is a bit on the wonk side. Which is a bit funny. Kind of see what I'm talking about. If you look at this, like I know this part's a bit wrong as well. It's actually supposed to be like that. Okay. But yes, this whole roof is a bit on the wrong side, which is a bit ironic since I build all of these buildings over in Creative and then I port them over with Lightmatica to build them and stuff. But I did build this one very late at night, one evening. I didn't check it. I just copied, saved the file, now imported it and built it. And now I finally realized my mistake. So yeah, next episode, we're going to need to fix this roof and do a building, I guess. But yes, with that, I think it's a nice color. I think, doing the different color walls, we have yellow, we have orange, we have white. And then we have this one which has the bit of diorite because it's supposed to be an old shack. So that's at least good news. But yes, I think once we have a few more buildings in here, because I think I want to put another one here. But I think what we'll do is we'll put another one here, but put it on stilts. I think that could be kind of cool. So then we'll have this section, so to say, complete. This road area here to some extent, and it'll be trees and stuff. But yes, then we can start focusing more on the pathway and how it will go over the mountain, and of course how it continues on, and of course our bridge that is over going to be ending from here over to there. But yes, of course we have to check up on our guys, see how they are doing. We have 0 villagers yet, which is a bit unfortunate. I am not sure why they're struggling. I gave them like a stack of wheat already. I guess they need more stuff. I'll farm up some more and maybe throw them some bread and see what happens instead. Because we are nearly... Oh, this is almost harvestable. It's just these last few that need to still grow up. Then we'll harvest again. Repopulate our animals. And of course then maybe craft up some bread and give them some of the juicy bread. But yes, I'm happy with how, one small building, or maybe 2 or maybe 3, is definitely helping and stuff. But I think we need some things. The next episode is literally going to be like a time delay. Because we built the villagers thing, but now we need to wait for villagers to, start doing the business in the shed. And then we can start. So I think maybe next episode we're going to be focusing on maybe getting a few more buildings set up much faster. So we can get started with a bridge and our pathways. But that is going to do it for me, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you will enjoy. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.